Thanks for coming out to Leafs Bros. As always, it's great to have you here. I know it's not easy the way things have been going these days, but that's being a Leafs fan for you. This is being a Leafs fan for you. You know, you don't always want to be too proud of being a Leafs fan, but this is the way it is. This is the way it goes. So, just as the Leafs have done here, I'm gonna have to reveal who I am. They pretended for a while to be a good team. You know, the offense kept us through, and it was a real pretender of what's going on. The offense kept the defense woes quiet. So here we are, and this is it. So the first thing I want to say about the Leafs right here is it hasn't been easy. Okay, I was in Florida over the break. I know I haven't done a video in a while. I took a break, went to Florida. I thought about making a video while I was in Florida, but I was bitter. I was really bitter. I didn't want to do it at the time. So I went out, I'm in the Fort Myers area. I went out to the Florida and the Leafs game. Leafs are up 4-2 going to third period. I'm thinking, all right, this is a good 2 points to get. We got Florida and then we got Tampa. If we can take both those, we're looking great. Up 4-2, you think we're going to pull it. But who shows up? The real Toronto Maple Leafs. We end up losing the game in a heartbreaker. And to be honest, that game was, you know, I don't like to blame the refs. I know I do, but I know I do blame them. I don't like to do it. But that game was bull. Van Riemsdyk all alone out front of the net. He gets tripped up, no call. Come down our end, ticky-tacky penalty, put them on the power play. I knew right there it was over. Lost the game. It was disappointing. And then we play Tampa Bay and we lose that one as well. Everybody knows we go on a poor run there, and it's not good. But what I want to say about that game is I've never seen Phil Kessel play so poorly. And I know everyone wants to get on Phil all the time, but I saw while I was there how lazy of a player Phil Kessel is. He doesn't battle for the puck. He doesn't get into the dirty areas. He shies away from hits. And I know we've known this all along. This isn't something that is new. But seeing it with my own eyes, and this isn't the first time I've seen the Leafs play, blah, blah, blah. But Phil looked extremely lazy out there. And the thing about Kessel is when he's not scoring, it's not like, okay, Phil's not scoring, we're going to have to get scoring from other areas. He is a detriment to the team. He is not pulling his weight on defense. You know, you see it happen all the time. And Phil's not the only guy. I see it happen with other players too. Kadri, Bozak. It's one thing to be around your guy, but you have to disrupt him. You have to be in his back pocket, you know. Being 4 or 5 feet away from him is not doing it. It's not good. So that brings me to my next point about the Leafs. And everyone's wondering, what's wrong with the Leafs? Well, we know what's wrong with the Leafs. Everyone wants to say defense. Defense is wrong with the Leafs. We're scoring, but we're not playing defense. And that's true. It needs to come from everybody, though. It can't just be Franz and Phaneuf, Polak who have to play defense. We need it from Jiver, JVR, as kids like to call him. We need it from Phil. We need it from Bozak. We need it from all these guys. And it's not just defense. I know you can say we got to play defense. But part of defense is offense. And the way the Leafs play offense is we got Phil, Jiver, we got everybody going up the ice. And it's just, you know, rush this way, rush that way. We'll rush it back this way, rush it that way, back against us. And we hope that, you know, in the end we come out with more goals. You cannot play that way in the National Hockey League. You got teams that know how to play defense and can score on you, and that's the key. I know you want to put as many goals in as you can, but you got to play defense. And Phil Kessel, I couldn't believe how lazy he looked. Like, it's not like he was just, you know, things weren't going his way. It looked like he didn't give a shit. It didn't look like he cared whether the puck, you know, we got it. Like, he wants to get the puck. Phil looks great when the puck's on his stick and he's skating down the ice ready to snipe. He's looking good, right? But you have to look at the rest of his game. He doesn't come back in time. You know, every now and again he makes it look like he's coming back. But to get in, you have to get in there. Get in the guy's stick. You got to play defense. It's not what's going on. So what the Leafs need to do, and I know it's not going to happen this year. If you look at this year, it's over. I'm sorry. I know people want to have the dream that it's still alive, talk to some people, oh, if we do this, we got Horacek, this and that. Guys, it's not happening. It's over. Alright? We're not making the playoffs this year. That might upset you or whatever. Alright, in a few months, come back, look at this video, and you'll understand what I'm saying. It's not happening. Right now, we've got guys who want to play offense, and it's making our defense look worse than they actually are. And I know our defense isn't great. We've got guys like Roman Polak, as kids like to call him. He is a good defenseman. He plays solid D. But the problem with our team is we got our top lines who like to run and gun. We've got Phil and Jiver, and they go 100 miles an hour down the ice, but then the puck's coming back the other way. What the Leafs need, their system, forget about who we have, everybody right now, forget about it. Think about this. You need those top guys with big bodies who can cycle the puck. I know it's not easy to get them top center, big body, but you need guys who can cycle the puck in the offensive zone so it's not coming back at our D. Our D's getting exposed on the rush all the time. Puck goes down, puck comes back on a rush. It's not easy to defend against the rush for defensemen. What we need to do is have offensive time in the offensive zone where it's cycled around, all right? We can't be screwing around hoping our defense is going to cover us because our defense is not good enough to cover us. I know people want to rip on Dion, say it's all Dion's fault. But if we had a system where we had sustained offensive pressure, it wouldn't happen like this. What we need is that top line center, the big body, the Getzlaf kind of guy who can cycle it down in the zone so our defense isn't taking 35, 40 shots a game. That's the issue. But how do you get that top line center? And I know a lot of people are saying you can only get them through the draft. You got to get your top guy through the draft. And generally that's how it happens. Taves, whoever else, Bergeron, those are guys you got to get through the draft. It's not going to happen. And I know it's not going to happen through a quick trade or an off. If you end up signing a guy in the offseason, you pay too much for him. We know that. We've seen it with Clarkson, Komisarek, whoever else. I'm not saying Komisarek's top line center, obviously, but I'm saying guys you get in the offseason, you end up paying more for them. So what I think needs to happen is we need to either fully rebuild, and I'm not talking the Brian Burke retool or whatever. I'm talking Chicago, Pittsburgh, Edmonton, full rebuild. You need to move your top guys, bottom out, get a top line center, and you go from there. If you don't do that, you need to find a top line center somewhere else. And look around the league. How many top line big body centers are there available? I don't see it. The only guy I could see really being available and fits that role is Eric Staal. And Eric Staal, I don't think he's the player he used to be. He's getting a little older. But he still has the potential to be that guy, that top center guy. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying get Eric Staal. I'm saying it's a possibility. You get the big body center. You move. At this point, like I said, the Leafs are done. We're not making the playoffs this year. The way it's going with this team, sure, we go in next year and try and battle for a playoff spot again. But we don't have the top players. Like, look at the teams that win the Cup. LA, they have Kopitar. They got Mike Richards backing him up. They got Stoll on their third line. You look at Chicago, they got Tazy Train, or Jonathan Taze, as the kids like to call him. And, you need the top line center, the big body that can grind it out, play her down low. Bozak, Kadri, neither of them are ever going to be that guy. Never. So there's no point in pretending. I know we got Kadri. He's a good second center. I love him as a second center right now. I know he's still got lots to do on the defensive zone, but he's young enough that he can correct that, and he wants to win. I don't think Naz is the problem. But to be honest, at the deadline, I would try and trade the top guys that we have. Franzen, he's got to go. How many years have we had contract issues with him? It's not going to happen. Move him for what you can. Phil Kessel. I know I'll take a lot of heat for this, and some of these fans really love the guy, but from what I've seen, Phil Kessel, when he is not scoring, he is a detriment to the team, and I think he's got to go. I would keep James Van Riemsdyk. He's young, he's got potential, and he doesn't cost a lot. You can move Lupul. He's injured all the time. I think a team would take a flyer on him for the playoffs. I mean, Clarkson, obviously, if anybody takes him, you'd move him. Dion, if we can get something for him. The only guys I wouldn't trade at this point, Jonathan Bernier, even if he's not the smartest character. I would keep Van Riemsdyk, and I would keep Phil Kessel. Sorry. Nazem Kadri, not Phil Kessel. This is like my 6th beer. I'm kind of forgetting what I mean to say there, but what I meant to say was Nazem Kadri. I would keep him, James Van Riemsdyk, Morgan Rielly, Jonathan Bernier. We still got Bill Nye, William Nylander, what the kids call him, ready to come up, and we got Stuart Percy. We still got a few decent pieces that we can build around. If we can move the money, we can open some room up to bring some guys in. And I know free agency isn't the way to build your team, but if you can bring in a couple decent veterans, there you have it. Like, you can bring in the veterans. This team isn't going to contend. I'm sorry. Like, I'm saying bring in veterans. I don't mean people to think that bring in veterans for a cup run. I mean bring a few guys that can guide Rielly, whoever, through the paces of being an NHL player. Because, you know, we've got young guys who they need to learn. And it's not going to happen like this. Well, I mean, you know, you give them ice time, whatever, but there's no point in wasting years on Rielly and Bernier and whoever we have on, you know, missing the playoffs. And at this point, we're missing the playoffs. So what we need to do is move those guys, get a better pick. You know, we'll be better for it in the end. The end, when's the end? I don't know, but that's part of being a Leafs fan. Like, we're not used to winning anymore, right? Anyone who's a modern day Leafs fan knows that this is how it is. We enjoy it, all right? We enjoy the ups and downs of it. As much as I say we enjoy it, I know it's painful, but in the end, when the Toronto Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup, whether it's 5, 10, 20 years from now, you stick with them, you have more reason to cheer than anybody. It's not going to be easy. It hasn't been an easy road. But when it happens, you're damn right that you can have a beer and you can cheer for this team, because when you stick around this long, you deserve it. I don't have a lot more to say. I just, I know it's a rough season and we're going to have to watch this thing unfold, but I think the best thing right now is just strip the team of players that we can get value for and move forward, because you know, Shanahan has a chance right here. He has a chance to make this thing his thing, all right? I know Nonis is kind of been put in a position where he's stuck between Burke and Shanahan, so he's kind of a lame duck in this situation. But Shanahan has his chance to make this his team. Trade the guys who aren't going to help. Lupul, Castle, as far as I'm concerned, you know, let's get rid of the guys that we can get something for. Take a step back. Reimer, whoever else we got to trade. Picks, accrue picks, make the picks at the draft, or trade them for somebody who's young and good. This isn't going to be easy. We're not close to being a championship, and we're not close to being a bunker team right now. I think we need to move the guys, pull out, and you know, hope we can do it. That's all I got for today. I didn't get to any viewer questions or anything, but I know it's been a while, so thanks for coming out, guys. If you want any question or anything, Twitter, Leafs Bros, put it on the bottom of the YouTube video, whatever you got. All right? Cheers, bros.